And Indiana has done it. Their first ever Commissioner's Cup championship, knocking off the Minnesota Lynx. This is how
Fever won the Commissioner's Cup.
Big time.
Without Caitlyn Clark.
Big time.
No Caitlyn Clark. They still went out there, took care of business against a very, very, very good Lynx team. A Lynx team that had won the Commissioner's Cup last year, if I'm not mistaken. Lynx team that got to the WNBA championship game.
The Indiana Fever achieved what many thought was impossible, securing their first ever Commissioner's Cup championship in a dramatic underdog victory over the Minnesota Lynx. The Lynx, the reigning champions and the team with the best record in the league at 14-2, were the clear favorites to win, and rightfully so. They had been near perfect all season, led by MVP frontrunner Nafisa Collier, and were playing on their home court in front of a roaring, sold-out crowd that was anticipating yet another championship celebration. On paper, the Fever were severely outmatched, not just by the Lynx's strength but by a series of obstacles that seemed insurmountable. The Fever's star player, Caitlyn Clark, was sidelined with a lingering groin injury, leaving them without their leading scorer and playmaker for the third consecutive game. Clark had been the heart and soul of the team, responsible for much of their success during the season. Her absence meant that the Fever had to step up without their biggest weapon, a challenge that no one thought they could overcome. To add to their woes, Dairis Dantas, a key player for the Fever, was unable to join the team as she was away representing her country in FIBA America. But the most shocking development came when veteran player Dana Bonner, who had been brought in during the offseason to provide leadership and experience, unexpectedly quit the team after just 9 games. Bonner's departure, especially at such a critical juncture, left the Fever scrambling for answers. With the roster falling apart and their star player unavailable, the Fever's chances of winning seemed slim, and the Lynx, with their deep roster and championship pedigree, were widely predicted to cruise to victory. Even sportsbooks had the Lynx favored by 14 points, solidifying the notion that Indiana's hopes were all but dashed. The Fever, however, had other plans. As underdogs, they entered the Commissioner's Cup final with an unwavering determination that no one saw coming. From the first tip-off, the Fever played with heart, resilience, and an energy that defied the odds. Kelsey Mitchell, one of the remaining key players, took on an expanded role and immediately showcased her scoring abilities. She attacked the Lynx defense early, knocking down key three-pointers and pushing the pace, forcing the Lynx to adjust to her perimeter shooting. Mitchell finished the game with a sizzling 41% shooting from beyond the arc, a weapon that became indispensable as the game progressed. Alongside Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston finally found her rhythm. After struggling to assert herself in the absence of Clark, Boston stepped up to dominate the paint, grab crucial rebounds, and act as a leader on both ends of the court. Boston's double-double performance, with 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists, demonstrated her growth as a player and her ability to carry the team when needed. But perhaps the most defining moment of the game came from Natasha Howard, who played the game of her life and was instrumental in the Fever's victory. Howard had been known for her defensive prowess but had often been overlooked for her offensive contributions. On this night, however, she delivered an MVP-caliber performance that solidified her as the game-changer. Howard contributed 16 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals while guarding Collier, one of the league's most dynamic players. Howard's defense on Collier was critical, forcing her into tough shots and contributing to Collier's 5 turnovers. Howard's impact on both ends of the court ignited the Fever and set the tone for the rest of the game. As the game wore on, Howard's defense became contagious, with the Fever as a whole turning up the intensity. Howard's leadership was especially evident in clutch moments when she went 8-for-8 from the free throw line, showing nerves of steel under pressure. But Howard wasn't the only one contributing. The Fever's defense suffocated the Lynx, particularly in the second half. They held the Lynx to just 39 points over the final 3 quarters and limited them to a shooting percentage of only 34.9%. Despite the Lynx's offensive strength, the Fever adjusted and didn't allow them to find their rhythm. Every player on the Fever roster made contributions, none more notable than Sophie Cunningham, who provided a much-needed spark off the bench. Cunningham's 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 three-pointers helped the Fever maintain their lead and weather any storms that the Lynx tried to mount. Her energetic play and clutch shots turned the tide when the Lynx tried to close the gap. Cunningham's performance was one of the key reasons the Fever never lost their composure. Lexi Hall also stepped up, playing solid defense and contributing in key moments, showing that she was more than capable of handling the pressure of a Commissioner's Cup final. The newcomer, Aari McDonald, had an immediate impact, scoring 12 points and adding depth to the Fever's roster when they needed it most. Her return to the roster couldn't have been more perfectly timed, as her scoring ability provided the offensive support the Fever needed to hold off Minnesota's resurgence. The Fever's balanced attack, with 5 players scoring in double figures, was one of the key reasons they were able to take down the Lynx. As the game progressed, the Fever's ball movement, which had been missing for stretches of the season, returned to form. The team started moving the ball with purpose, making smart decisions, and playing unselfishly. This resurgence in their offensive flow allowed them to build and maintain a lead, as the Fever's chemistry on the court flourished in the most crucial moment of the season. While the Fever's defense was exceptional, it was their ability to execute offensively and move the ball effectively that ultimately won them the game. The Lynx tried to mount a comeback in the fourth quarter, but the Fever responded with timely baskets from Mitchell, Boston, and McDonald. The Lynx, despite their best efforts, could not gain the momentum they needed, and the Fever held strong, closing out the game 74-59. This victory wasn't just a fluke, it was a well-earned and deserved triumph that showcased the Fever's depth, resilience, and refusal to back down. After the game, Caitlyn Clark, still sidelined with her injury, was on the sidelines celebrating with her teammates. Despite not being able to contribute on the court, Clark's leadership remained crucial to the team's success. In the locker room celebration, Clark dropped 6 words that would go down in history: "Everybody in the league is sick." Those 6 words perfectly encapsulated the emotions of the moment, as they reflected not just the team's excitement but also the underlying tension and jealousy that had been building in the WNBA all season long. The Fever's victory sent shockwaves through the league, showing that they were no longer just a one-player team but a collective force to be reckoned with. For the Lynx, despite their defeat, head coach Cheryl Reeve acknowledged that the Fever had simply outplayed them, giving them the respect they had earned with their performance. The Fever's victory solidified their status as a legitimate championship contender, even without their star player. While the Commissioner's Cup isn't the WNBA championship, it served as a powerful reminder that true champions can rise above adversity. The Fever proved that they had the depth, heart, and character to win when everything seemed stacked against them. Looking ahead, the 2025 season holds immense promise for the Fever, and with Clark's eventual return, this team is poised to become an even more dangerous force in the league. Their victory over the Lynx wasn't just a one-time achievement, it was a declaration that the Indiana Fever had entered a new era, one built on unity, resilience, and the unwavering belief that, together, they could overcome anything. The Fever's future looks brighter than ever, and with Clark back in the fold, they will be an unstoppable force ready to take the WNBA by storm.